occupied. Somebody's in here. God, I wonder who it is. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hole in the Pen Cap. I'm Reier Cammerman. Thank you so much for making it. I hope you didn't have trouble parking. I mean, I made room for you in the driveway. Everybody always has a drive. I suppose there's also a walkway, a runway, crawlway, crawl space. That's a little different, though. I wouldn't put driveway and crawl space kind of in the same parking lot. Hey, it's all connected. Welcome to, I believe this is episode 12. I'm Reier. And I'm here to host the show. It'd be crazy. It's crazy that I feel the need. Oh, I'm just here to check the pipes, and I'll be out. I'll be on my way. No, I'm clearly there's nobody else here, unless you count. I got a drink. I got a water. I have not been drinking as many energy drinks because I was getting really scared. I think I also, the timing of which I was drinking them was not appropriate. So that's probably why. You know, I would just have an energy drink at like noon. Well, like not noon. I mean like midnight, which is kind of like the nighttime noon. And I would just try and, just start counting sheep. And then the sheep would just start counting me. I go, oh, there's 5. And I go, oh my God, how did you get to that number? I could see 2, but 5? God. Yeah, it just was, so I've been chewing this caffeine gum to kind of get me through the day, right? To keep me away. I love caffeine. It's one of my vice presidents, I'm running for office. It's Cammerman and caffeine. Is that how they do it? Kamala. Do it Harris. And Kamala just got a new running mate. Running mate is an interesting. I don't remember his. I think it's Mike. Hey, Mike. Yeah, I think it's Big. I think it's Big Mike from The Blind Side, which is kind of cool. That's kind of fun. That's kind of diverse. It's kind of fun. But yeah, no, I've been chewing this caffeine gum, and it's nice. I saw it for the first time at I went to Buc-ee's. Hey, that Palace, that, why are there so many pumps, right? Have you ever seen more than 3 people getting gas there at one time? I have not. I mean, it's wonderful, but I feel like at some point it is kind of probably wasteful to have that, unless there was maybe like some sort of apocalypse or something and everybody was getting gas and you needed 100. It might be, I don't think it's that many, but it's certainly like 40 or 50. It's insane. The number of pumps at a Buc-ee's. What if that's how you got gas into your car? Like a bike pump. Like one of those, in kids' cartoons, they would always do this, and then it would be like what is that called? Dynamite? It would blow up dynamite. Dynamite? It would blow up. I went to Buc-ee's. It was right before I went to Wisconsin. I stopped at Buc-ee's. And I was just looking in the candy section because I was seeing if they had any Reese's sticks. They do not. Not everywhere does, it's kind of a treasure. It's kind of a, like how when the kings went to visit Jesus, I imagine somebody probably had a biblical version of Reese's Sticks, whatever that might be. maybe some sort of salt. Because I imagine at that point there was probably no chocolate or peanut butter. But where was, if they hadn't discovered it yet, I mean, where was it? Sometimes it's fun to imagine that Reese's Sticks, or that any really candy or sentient item, has been around forever. You know, like kind of like Toy Story, but with gas station products. You know, it's like, oh, Reier's here, and they all, because maybe that's selfish to say I'm the version of Andy in this. I don't know if it's selfish because I don't think anyone else would really want to be that. You know, I don't think that would really be an issue, but my friends are out there and they're getting ready for a show tonight and they're talking, and I'm kind of distracted, but I don't want to say anything because I don't think that's necessary and I don't want to be rude, and they're my friends, but I'm having trouble thinking. You've got it, Rye. It's not, you can think through it. Yeah, I don't know. I had that in school. It was really, really difficult for me to study or do tests or things when I heard people talking. It was like whatever they were saying was then in my mind. You know what I mean? As opposed to like drifting by, you know, I'd be writing an essay or whatever, and then I would just start writing what they were, like that's how it felt. Like I could only think about what they were saying. But I think it's getting better too. You know, it's also partially a mental thing of just not giving in. I mean, with anything, everybody always says that, which can be frustrating. Like, oh, just don't give in to it. No, it's not like that. It's not, I don't know. That always frustrated me, I think, when people were like, oh, it's all in your head. It's like, yeah, I know. It's not a thyroid issue. I know it's in my head. It's crazy. But no, it's quieter now. It's quiet. Shh. The Reier's starting. That's good. I'm glad I worked through that. I didn't need to go talk to them. They're having so much fun. See, this is maybe why I wouldn't be good in maybe what would be a position where there'd be a lot of noise and you couldn't, like maybe if I worked at an amusement park or something, and you know, everybody's having a great time and I'm running the rides, but I keep getting distracted, so I keep making the rides go like backward, you know, and it's like mid roller coaster and somebody is like having a conversation, so I have to stop the roller coaster. Hey, can you take it somewhere else? I know you got cotton candy, but see, there's some jobs that you wouldn't, it would be okay if it was really, it's supposed to be loud, you know? Whereas there's other jobs where, if you need to focus, I suppose. I think people always think if you need to focus, it's a more serious job, or maybe you need to be more qualified. I don't know about that. I think qualifications are so interesting because they differed. Sorry, I'm distracted again. I feel like typically I would cut, right? And I would, you know, walk around for a little or start over or something. But I'm trying not to do that because I do want to be consistent. And I think there also is value in putting out what I don't think is great. Even though I do think I always do my best. But I am very self-critical. I don't know. I've always been like that. For whatever reason, like putting other people, it's so much easier to praise and to be like, oh, that's so wonderful. But then to yourself, it's so much harder. I wonder do you guys have that? No, you're amazing. You don't have that. I thought that'd be a funny thing because I just said, oh. God, I love the Gatorade water. It's fairly new. It does taste like normal water, and it's not a good financial choice. But I just want one thing. No, I get more than one. I don't know. I like it. It's fun. The electrolytes are fun. I've been trying some liquid IVs recently. It's like this fun little powder that has, nutrients, I suppose, in it, and vitamins, and you can get some with caffeine. I got some with caffeine for like mornings. It's really nice. Yeah, it helps you feel kind of rejuvenated in a sense, which is nice. Like I said, I've been pretty tired. I get tired in the mornings. Sleeping can be hard. But I think it's getting better too. I'm not going to the 24-hour coffee shops as much. I'm trying to do that, yes, but kind of during the day, which is a real step, to kind of, it's funny to think that a 24-hour coffee shop is still that during the day. It doesn't really change it up, in 24 hour. It's still a 24-hour coffee shop. It's interesting. What if there were 24-hour versions of other things, which there are, but things that currently, a 24-hour glasses shop. When I lived in Chicago, there was a 24-hour Subway, which is like the food. I think there was also a 24-hour. I didn't take the Subway. I had my car there, which was not a good choice, but it was, I think I would do it again probably because I like to have transportation. I like to know I can go, and I get, getting stuck in like a train is a fear, is very scary to me. I like the transportation, and it's also, important with comedy, I think, to be able to like drive out of town and whatnot. But yeah, there was this 24-hour Subway, and there was this Indian guy that worked there, and I kind of formed a friendship. Do you ever form a friendship with somebody? You don't really know like their name. We exchanged names a few times, but it didn't really stick. It was like oh, what's your name? Oh, me too. You ever do that? Somebody said, hey, what's your name? Steven? Me too. What? Your name's Steven? Yeah. Sometimes if I get really anxious, I agree with things that are not true. And I've gotten a lot better actively working on not doing that. Usually I would, if I do it, I just immediately correct myself and go, I'm sorry. I don't know. Which is people find kind of strange for sure, because it is strange to just, go, yeah, my car's right. Mine too. Wait, no, it's not. What? Why did you say? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. We all have weird impulses, I think, when we get nervous or when we get frustrated or overwhelmed or, certain things that we do. I'm curious what yours are. Some people maybe do physical things, and some people do kind of go inward with a baseball bat, a metaphorical baseball bat. You can go to the piñata, or you can become the piñata. Not in like a physical abuse sense, but no, I've gotten a lot. I don't do that very much, but it used to be a problem. You just get angry. I still have a joke, but I don't do it. I do it, but not as much, about going to the gas station and the woman asking me my pronouns, and I said he, which was not true at that point, and I, just went with it. I don't even know why I said that's not even agreeing. That's like plainly lying. Just being like, yeah, I don't know. I think that question has always made me very uncomfortable, which kind of brings us to a topic. The last episode I recorded, which I think I might start doing 2 a week, which is crazy to say because I haven't posted in like a month and a half. See, I'm very much an extremist. I'm either all in or all out of the box. Out of the box. You got to think you got to get out of the box. People always say you got to think outside of the box. Nobody says you got to get outside of the box. probably need to get out of it first, because wouldn't that be concerning? Yeah, I'm all in or I'm all out. And I think that's been an asset, but it's also been a detriment throughout my life, right? If I'm really into something, like any passion I've had, theater, wrestling, sign language, special ed, teaching, anything like that, it's always been, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to fully do it, and it's going to be my life's mission. Like even when I worked at McDonald's, when I worked, where? I was going to say when I worked at a coffee shop, but I only worked there 2 weeks, so it's not really a valid. I don't think that counts really. But yeah, I'm just weirdly into it, insanely determined. Has always been, not good, but determined. So you have to, I think I've talked about that on here before too, but if you're determined enough, you can really, you can get people will value that, right? I think that's pretty much the reason I was on varsity. Like, I think I remember my first day in the varsity PE class, my coach, I don't know if it was my first day or a few days in, my coach told me, he was like, yeah, I was concerned to put you in this class because, you struggle. I struggled a lot with technique. I just couldn't remember anything. I just wasn't, I wasn't very good, to be honest, but I was so, I was the first one at practice. I was like the last one to leave. I was always there. I was, working out all the time. So I got really fit, like really, fast and but I just, so when you're working that hard, it's so hard to deny you. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, you should be so much better than you are. Maybe is how I felt. Maybe is how. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. It's so hard to look back at things like that in retrospect, and because retrospect is such an interesting kind of it's interesting. I never broke down that word retro. It's like retro toys, retrograde. I don't even know what that means. I just get sucked into the air. That's been one of my new things I've been saying on stage recently, is when maybe people aren't laughing or it's just quiet, I'll go, God, Reier, they don't even fucking see you. You could disappear into the air right now, and they just think somebody was still up there. And variations of that have what I've been, which is maybe not a great thing to encourage, but yeah, it's fun to just start talking to yourself, I think. And because it's fun. I think inherently it's kind of fun to watch someone talk to themselves, unless it's like really scary or negative, or because we all do it. A lot of people just do it quietly, or do it silently is a better way to. You remember that in school? Silent, not quiet. Maybe that was just maybe just my school. I don't remember. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, the pronoun thing. So the last episode I recorded was on Sunday. Today's Wednesday. And since then, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day, like 2 days ago, I decided to do the pronoun thing. I know it's crazy. I don't know why for me it's embarrassing to say he, him. Like because it would make sense for me to just say, oh, I changed my pronouns to he, him, which is true, but it's embarrassing for me to say. Which you would maybe then say, well, why did you do it then if it's embarrassing? Why do we do anything? Right? For self-improvement, for betterment, to feel okay, maybe. It's so hard. I don't know. It's a difficult thing for me that I've struggled with. I did it one time before, about 2 years ago, when I was also in Austin, like a couple months into being here. And what do I think? I tried to change my pronouns. I did it for like maybe a week, maybe like 9 days. And nobody was doing it. And it's not anybody's fault. I'm so bad at, telling people. Like, I don't want to, I feel horrible correcting people. It makes me feel crazy. It makes me feel like a weirdo. I mean, I know this isn't true to anybody out there. I think having the autonomy, is that the right word? Having the self-confidence to do that. And it's something you have to actively work towards. It's a very difficult thing to do, especially I think I have this kind of anxiety ingrained into me about it, just from, I don't know, the way I've always thought, and I think that's why I push it off why I continue to push it off too. And I don't know. I just think I've come to the realization that I try and make other people comfortable. And that's why I have stayed with she, and I'm ready to be, to make myself feel okay, like I'm not less of a person than other people. So why should I not value how I feel, right? I don't know. I mean, it's a hard thing. I'm curious to hear. I do want to talk to more trans people about that and how they deal, because I don't know. I think I'm scared to do other aspects of it, though I really do want to. I tried to use the men's bathroom a couple times, and the first time somebody walked in, I was at the sink, and then they saw me and they immediately walked out, and that hurt. But I don't know. See, that's why maybe that isn't a part I can do yet. I don't know, because I don't want to make people uncomfortable. But also in the women's bathroom, I make people uncomfortable sometimes too, if they're not super observant and they think I'm a man. So it's just, unless it's a gender neutral bathroom, which there aren't many. I mean, around, at least where I work, around 6th Street. Because I had that yesterday. I don't know. I wanted to use the men's bathroom, but I was scared to do it after that had happened the day before. So I ended up, because we have like a bathroom in the, like a private bathroom, but it wasn't working. And so I was like, hey, I'll be right back, to my coworker. And I went to find a gender neutral bathroom. So I walked like down the street and I checked in a few restaurants. And then I found one in a pizza place. And they looked at me, I walked in and I obviously didn't buy any pizza. So I think they were confused. And it also took a while to get, like, it wasn't right next door. It was like maybe 2 blocks down or something. So that's maybe not something I can continue. I don't want to, how many times can you use a bathroom without buying pizza at a pizza place before it's like, well, this is strange? The first time, I'm sure it was also strange. They seemed confused. But yeah, you'd say, Reier, just use the women's bathroom then. Well, am I putting words? You'd say, Reier, just use the men's bathroom. I don't know I'm not for sure what you would say, but I'm curious if you want to tell me. I don't know. It's a confusing thing because I am very uncomfortable in both, in the women's and the men's. And I don't know what to do really, because I do want to start valuing how I feel. I want to start letting myself be who I feel like I am, and I think down the line, it's so hard to change things when you've already been in a place, right? To just all of the sudden be like, oh, well, this is what, I know you've seen me as this place, you've seen me as this for 2 years, but now I'm just changed. So that's hard. I think moving makes it so much easier. Like if I were, maybe that'll be what happened. Maybe I do the pronouns and hopefully people take on to it. I don't know. I don't want to just let it go again like I did 2 years ago. I want to actually do it, because otherwise I would have just not done it, But I I think if I move, because I've also been, I think about moving someday. Not that I don't love Austin. I love Austin, but I've thought just in a comedic sense, trying to grow my comedy and gain different, because every time you go to a new scene, I feel like you gain different abilities too. Different skills and things. Like I lived in Milwaukee, Chicago, and Austin. And out of all, every scene gave me something different, a different perspective and a different things I had to work on. Like I feel like Milwaukee gave me a lot of confidence because people were so accepting and kind, and that was me learning to accept myself too. And then Chicago was also self-accept. Like it was, in retrospect, it would have been a lot easier for me to do this in Chicago, just because it's so accepting there. Like I live in Texas. It's Austin, but it's still Texas. So there are, but yeah, in Chicago, I think I started talking about things for the first time I had never talked about, and I got confidence in that sense. And then I moved to Austin, essentially so I came to visit, and I bombed horribly. I think I maybe had one good show, but I felt I did horrible on all my shows. And I just was very, very uncomfortable. So that's why I decided to move, because I don't want to have somewhere that I feel that, because I was doing fairly well in Chicago. I was like, booked regularly, and I was hosting for people, things like that, just working regularly and making maybe a supplemental amount of money. And then, what was I saying? Oh, and then I didn't want to hide from difficulty, like even maybe that's what I'm feeling like I've been doing with the gender stuff too, is hiding from difficulty. Whereas moving to Austin was me facing that and going, because it was comedically, it's very different. The things that work are different. And when you're funny enough, of course you can what's the word? You can work anywhere. That's what people always say. I think that's true, but I also think you sometimes have to give up certain aspects of yourself to work places, for your comedy to work. Whereas if you're okay with that, that's okay. But I don't know. And I'm also very new to it, and I'm figuring it out and all of that. But yeah, that's why I moved to Austin, was to make sure that I didn't have anywhere that I did that badly. Because I wouldn't have been okay with doing well in Chicago if I was this bad, if people hated me this much somewhere. I think that's why, I think of New York too, because I know it would be difficult. Socially, it would be very hard for me. I know that. Just because like the networking aspect of comedy and of life is very hard for me, I think. I think a lot of people just, they know how to go up to people, and they know, not a lot of, sometimes, I don't know, like I remember the first time I ever drank, and I was just, as soon as it hit, I just remember feeling, oh, this is what normal people must feel like. This like comfort of, I'm allowed to be here. It's okay that I'm here right now, which is not something I felt before. It's not, I think I don't drink a lot or anything like that, but that I think with confidence has also given me that, and obviously you gain confidence through experience and through friendships and new, doing things and conquering things, right? But yeah, no, I think, what was I going to say? yeah, confidence is so, New York would do that for me, I think. And I think that's why I want to at least go visit and, give that a go. Because the social aspect would be very hard. And then comedically, I think I would know that I would love the tiers, right? The milestones, I think would be good. But I love Austin too, so it's all like figuring things out. And I don't know. We did re-sign our lease like a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'll probably stay for a year. But also, there's so many people moving to Austin. I could for sure, if I felt that urge to go, I could figure it out. But I don't know. I think there's a lot to think about, and I think it all self-discovery is such a interesting game. An interesting. It's different for everybody, and I think there's no reason to have shame about it. I think I've had a lot of shame about it, but I don't want to anymore. Yeah, there's something exciting about that. But no, I've been going to 24-hour coffee shops during the day. And there was, the other day I was at the coffee shop with a few of my friends. We were writing. And this woman was there. And she was so sweet. She was nice. She's like somebody that, anybody, do you have people in your life that just so social, like right away, they just bring you in. It's like like a lasso of communication of sorts. She was like that. Like as soon as I came in, it was really hot outside. And it's like mostly an outside coffee shop, but then there's a few seats inside. And so I was looking around and I was like, hey, is it okay if I sit here? And she was like, yeah, of course. Oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you can't go. Like just immediately so warm and kind. And my other friends came. We were all talking and we were talking with her a little bit. And then she's like, hey, just so you know, there's a toddler coming. Like my friend's dropping off her toddler. I'm going to watch him. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I used to be a preschool teacher. I love kids. And we were all sitting so close that it was like, we were just hanging out with strangers, which was really fun. I mean, I don't know. I told my friend later, because we were like, yeah, we didn't get to write much. And I was like, yeah, there was no way. With a kid there, I wasn't going to be able to write, because I feel like for whatever reason, and maybe that's why I love teaching so much too, is a child's imagination and the way they latch on to things and getting to see them see the world is the most fun thing, is one of the most fun things in the entire world for me. I mean, like we were sitting there and she was on her computer and like talking to him. And she's like, so, yeah, say hi, this is Reier. Say hey. And then, he said his name, was like, hey. And then he was just kind of like he didn't have a lot to do. And so I got, I have this little rubber hippo in my backpack. And I said, oh, do you want to meet my hippo? And he was like, yeah. At first he was hesitant, but he's like, yeah, it's my hippo. He's blue. His name is Blue Hippo. I didn't say that, but I don't remember. I think I said, what do you want his name to be? That's always fun. I've always loved that aspect of imaginative play with kids is so fun. Because especially talking to a child with child appropriate content, but in an adult way, like treating them like an adult, but with the appropriate conversation, is so fun, because you could tell they really appreciate it too. So just being like, yeah, this is my hippo. Where do you think the hippo should live? What do you think his name should be? Oh, no, I think that's a great idea. Yeah. And just anything they say, just adding on to it, go, yeah, wow, why do you think that? That's great. Just not necessary. I mean, being positive in the sense of being like, oh, yeah, thank you for sharing that. But letting them kind of lead the conversation is so fun. It's kind of like, it's not really like this, but it's kind of like, you remember that trend maybe 10 years ago on YouTube I don't know if maybe it wasn't that long ago, but it was where people would have their dogs lead them like around the neighborhood. It'd be like, my dog walks me. And it would, and I'm not saying children or dogs, but hey, maybe, and I'm not saying dogs or children, but nobody flips that. Whenever you have I'm not saying that you're a tree, but I am saying a tree is you. Does that make it probably not. No, probably no sense, right? But yeah, no, it was really fun to just sit there, and I had my friend gave me a couple note cards, and I just, he was playing with the hippo, and I was over here with my friends, and then I just folded one into like this little teepee house, and I drew windows. It's so fun. I was just drawing it, and then he looked over at me because he could tell. Kids' curiosity is so beautiful. Like, he could tell I was doing something. He wanted to know what I was doing. And he was like, hey. He tapped on me. I said, hey, what is that? Oh, this is just a house for the hippo. And then I just put the house on the hippo. God, I want a kid. I mean, not for a long time, but I want a kid. I just think there's something so beautiful about the way they think. There's something so, I was a babysitter forever, and I would just play with the kids in this very, anything can be real, which is so cool. Like, you go in and there's, the story can take any twist at any time, which is beautiful, I think. Like, I remember there's this one little boy that I watched, and one of the first times I ever watched him, I came into the house, and his mom was like, yeah, this is Steven, or, his name. And I was like, oh, hey. And then he was just looking at me, and he went, I'm a robot. Obviously. I know, because I'm a telescope. It doesn't really have to make sense. Yeah, just play. It was so fun. He was so fun. It's so fun to play into a child's imagination. Ooh, let's see. Do we have anything else? This may be a shorter episode. I'm going, we kind of had a little bit of a time crunch because I'm going to work soon, which has been great. It's, do you ever have like periods where you really enjoy working and you just want to be there all the time, and then you're like, oh, I just need a break? Maybe this goes back to the kind of, I'm either all in or all out, right? I just feel like right now I just want to be at work all the time. It's so calming and fun. And there's something great about cleaning too. I do need to be a lot more clean. I feel like my, I don't know, sometimes I struggle with like cleaning. My room is kind of like a mini golf course. There's like windmills and concession stand, random families. You just play things where they lie. Do you do that in mini golf? Do you play it where it lies? I imagine it's not that serious. Hey, you're not allowed to move. We're restarting. Yeah, I mean, it was so, yeah, I know I'm bad at that. Because I feel like, for me, it's kind of fun to wake up and have like an inanimate object scavenger hunt, right? Like, oh, where's my, you've got to get on a safari hat and put on some binoculars and just start looking for a shoe. That would be fun to kind of be a safari guide, but for objects in your bedroom, right? Like you're on what would be the equivalent of like a Jeep? Maybe like a laundry basket, like on a skateboard. Yeah, you're sitting in a laundry basket on a skateboard, and you've got 4 or 5 vitamin waters. Those are the people that are on the safari, and they're on the back of the skateboard or whatnot. And you're just going through the bedroom, and you're going, well, that's a wild, what would be something in my bed? That's a wild cup full of broken pens. And I don't even know what accent. I mean, that's definitely not the right. I think I did British. And typically you go Australian, right? Like Robert Irwin. I keep seeing videos of him. He's Robert Irwin. Who is his father? Maybe I'm saying his father's name on accident, but Steve Irwin. Yeah. The crocodile hunter that passed away. It's fun to see videos of him like kind of leading people through the zoo. I suppose that's kind of what I would be. I'd be wearing like a zoo vest and khaki pants, and just like, tackling a unicycle on my floor. Kind of like a crocodile. I would just be like tying a jump rope around the wheel of a unicycle as if to muzzle it so that it doesn't bite people. And then we'd go and it'd be like, oh, does anybody want to hold a hat? Like a koala? Do you want to hold it? Do you want to feed? Does anybody want to feed the window? And I'm just giving people saltine crackers to feed the window, which ends up it just kind of becomes littering, which is a problem. But yeah, that would be fun to just have a safari through a bedroom. It reminds me kind of you remember Rainforest Cafe? Oh, that was so fun. It was, anybody that don't know, I feel like that's a pretty iconic American restaurant, right? So it was in a lot of malls. And there were also ones that weren't in malls, but I feel like they were mostly in malls. And it was just this safari, like jungle-themed restaurant that had like animatronics, and it had this really cool gift shop with all these toys and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool. I wonder why we don't, I don't know. Themes like that are so fun because especially when you're a kid, it takes you out of the world, and then you're like you feel like you're actually in the jungle, which is really cool. Which would be, hindsight would be very scary to be just kind of eating a pizza in the jungle. I mean, it's fun if you know that's not actually happening. But if guys, I feel like I don't think I want this chocolate cake in the desert. Yeah, they do the jungle, but what would be other places, other landforms, other habitats that you probably wouldn't want to do that in? Maybe, probably not the Saharan desert, probably not a canyon. There's no canyon-themed dive bar, right? There's no Antarctic. Maybe there is like a snow-themed one, like in, nobody wants to have like a snow cone in Antarctica. I mean, maybe, that would be too cold. But really it's funny, the different landforms that are considered, fun, and like a beach. I think that's a landform. It'd be cool to go to a beach and like, eat a hamburger or something, but but you probably wouldn't go into like onto a peninsula. There's no peninsula themed gas station. So wouldn't that be fun? You just have to kind of, all of the food is just kind of in the middle, because a peninsula is kind of like an island, isn't it? Or it's not an island, but it's like kind of looks kind of inappropriate, honestly. But and you have to swim to the sides to get to the food. I've been really enjoying going to the gas station recently. I always say I love a good gas station because everything makes so much sense there. There's no confusion at it. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Not always, but where is anything supposed to be, right? Everything has its place. And, have you noticed that gas stations have names? Like, not like the gas station, not like Shell or Exxon or anything like that, but like the actual little store. So it'll be like Exxon, and then it'll be like Lily's Corner. look for it on the. They all have like weird. I mean, not all, but it'll usually be something like tree. It'll be like Sunshine Mart or something. It makes it kind of fun. I mean, I don't think anybody ever notices the name. Like, they just say, "Oh, I'm at like Shell," But no, you're at Sam's Food Stop. It's always not really. Sometimes there's not a lot of effort put into the names. Joe's Store. Yeah, I feel like you could have tried harder. That's always fun. And I love going to do you ever go to the drink section and so you hear somebody talking through the gaps in the drinks? I don't think I've talked about, maybe I might have did this on the last one, but that's kind of fun, right? You're just going to get a Gatorade or something and you just hear somebody going, "Oh, like, I need help. Oh, what do you need?" And you just start kind of answer, "Oh, what do you need help with?" Like, "What? No, I wasn't. No, I'm talking to my coworker." "Oh, the vitamin water?" Because it's next to the vitamin water. So you assume they all work together. All the drinks are kind of employees of the store. Wouldn't that be kind of fun? If every food and every drink kind of just had like a little uniform on. And whenever you bought it, they had to give their uniform back. I did that when I quit McDonald's. I gave back my uniform, and I found out I did not have to do that. It was probably actually they seemed confused. They're like, "What are you?" Yeah, it was very strange. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by this week. The Hole in the Pen Cap. I'm Reier Cammerman. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like I'm in a good flow right now. So I think I'm going to start putting out a lot more. And I would love to get feedback. We'll get it on Spotify eventually. I want to get like music and art for it and things like that. I think it'll all just be a slow process, but I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Thank you so much. Bye.